I don't think I really gotten through all the way that I didn't let down, you know, everybody in my family. And it was just, I think I'm still trying to like get through that part.
Still to this day.
I try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
Brittney Griner in tears, Aaliyah Boston lifting her teammates to new heights, and the Indiana Fever storming into the semifinals for the first time since 2015.
I try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
Nobody saw this coming. Analysts had written them off before the ball was even tipped, not with 6 injured players and no Caitlin Clark on the court. Yet against all odds, Indiana flipped the script, and in doing so, they may have signaled the end of an era. The question now is simple.
Now, Mitchell's been quiet for a while, not anymore. Look, in Canada with another assist. A big bounce back night for her. Mitchell dribbles behind the line to take the 3. Howard with the one-handed rebound and putback.
Was this Griner's last stand as a dominant center? Or was this the night Aaliyah Boston officially claimed the crown? Indiana's journey to this point almost defies belief. 6 players out. Clark, Cunningham, Coulson, Bibby, McDonald, Dantas. All gone. Practically half the rotation gone in one swoop. Every logical prediction said they'd collapse, bow out quietly, and wait for next year. But the Fever chose to rewrite the narrative. They entered Game 3 in Atlanta with the weight of history on their shoulders. A playoff drought stretching back nearly a decade. The last time this franchise won a series, Tamika Catchings was the heartbeat of the roster, and Stephanie White was coaching them to the finals.
We talked about the desperation before Game 2 on Tuesday. Just how does that carry over into tonight?
Well, I think anytime that you're a win or go home situation, there's desperation. And so it has to carry over. You know, we're in the same situation. Our back is against the wall. We got to come out and we've got to play with that sense of urgency. We've got to play with that hunger. We've got to value every single possession and every single opportunity.
Since then, fans had grown used to heartbreak, rebuilding phases, and waiting for a miracle that never came, until now. What made this win even more extraordinary was the way Indiana's injured stars still found ways to contribute. Caitlin Clark never stopped leading, rallying her teammates from the bench, pacing the sidelines in black Air Force Ones that fans quickly labeled a good luck charm. Sophie Cunningham turned into an extra coach, barking out instructions, keeping the energy alive. Chloe Bibby stayed in every huddle, making sure the team never lost focus. Even without playing, they became the Fever's 6th man.
We've just been through so much this season, giving ourselves another chance in Game 3. Emotions are high.
This is a group that's confidence has really never wavered. This group has continued to show their heart, their character, night in and night out.
I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and our organization.
We've been in every kind of situation you can imagine, and we've been able to find ways to put ourselves in position to win, and this will be no different.
Somebody has to lose and somebody has to win.
And the roar inside Gateway Center Arena felt more like a home game than a road one. For players like Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Lexi Hull, this wasn't just about advancing to the next round. This was personal validation, the kind that only comes after years of doubt and grind. Mitchell, who has carried this team through highs and lows, finally tasted the sweetness of a playoff breakthrough. Hull, often overlooked, became a crucial piece in a moment that demanded everything. And Boston, in her first playoff run, showed she's not just the future, she's the present.
Indiana Fever are heading to the semifinals.
Driving to the foul line and the paint, lays it in. Sims crossover left to right, gets into the paint, layup, good.
Inside, Boston.
But make no mistake, this game will be remembered for one thing above all, the duel between Aaliyah Boston and Brittney Griner. For years, Griner was the standard of dominance in the paint. The player opponents feared when the postseason lights came on. Her shot blocking, her inside scoring, her ability to tilt the game with one possession. That was her legacy, yet on this night, she looked like a shadow of that player. Instead of leading, she was benched for long stretches of an elimination game, and in her absence, Boston rose.
To Jones, throws it up.
No good! Game over! And the Fever are moving on!
For Atlanta has not been good. 40%. Maybe a little higher than that, 45.
Indiana electing not to call a timeout. Boston almost gave it away. Into Boston for the lead. She hits it. Indiana goes up.
Boston gets it. Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's a second defender that's gone down. And Bree Jones.
She didn't just play well, she outclassed Griner at every turn. Boston finished with 14 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. But it wasn't the numbers that told the story. It was the timing. With the clock winding down in the fourth quarter, she fought for position, received the ball, and calmly laid in the go-ahead basket with just 7.4 seconds left. That single moment symbolized everything. The passing of the torch. Where Griner once stood tall, Boston now stood taller. Where Griner once bullied defenders into submission, Boston flipped the script and turned her into the one scrambling for answers.
Just picked up her second foul, so Hillman and Gray each with 2. Mitchell over the Boston screen.
And that was tough, her hands. But going back to that ball screen here, little movement in the first part of that screen by Aaliyah Boston.
Mitchell.
Man, she is so good.
Packing from the outside and now the inside. And Mitchell's been quiet for a while. Not anymore. Mitchell over to Boston. Again, the shot clock winding down. Mitchell, tough shot off the bounce to get around Jones.
2 steps behind the three-point line and the dribble handoff for Kelsey Mitchell.
Griner's struggles were painful to watch for longtime fans. Shots that once looked automatic rattled out. Defensive rotations she used to cover with ease became slow, flat-footed efforts. By the third quarter, frustration etched itself across her face. Her stat line told the cruel truth. 2 points, 2 rebounds in a playoff game that could have defined her redemption. Instead, it defined her decline. For years, her coach trusted her to anchor the team in moments like this. But this time, that trust was gone. And when a player of her stature sits on the bench while her team's season slips away, it signals more than just a bad night. It suggests an ending. Boston, on the other hand, played with maturity beyond her years. She never chased highlight blocks. She never overcommitted. She simply forced Griner off her comfort zones, angled her body perfectly, and stayed disciplined. What she delivered wasn't flashy, but it was devastatingly effective, and it left everyone watching wondering if we were witnessing not just the end of one career's prime, but the rise of another's era. Still, this wasn't just about one matchup. Indiana's victory was a collective masterpiece. Kelsey Mitchell poured in 24 points, including 19 in the first half, refusing to let Atlanta pull away.
Indiana Fever are heading to the semifinals of the WNBA for the first time in 10 years. Kelsey Mitchell said, all that we've got, and we have all that we need. Cobbling together this roster, and here they are, about to be in the Final Four.
What you thought was impossible is possible. A team that has been devastated by injury, rallying on the road. One more time.
Odyssey Sims, once just a hardship contract pickup, became a steadying force with 16 points and 8 assists, including the clutch feed to Boston for the game winner. Brianna Turner and Natasha Howard, the veterans, did the dirty work, contesting, rotating, making the small plays that don't show in headlines but win games. Shea Petty nailed a timely 3 in the fourth quarter. Michaela Timpson grabbed 5 rebounds in just 4 minutes. Every name, every contribution mattered. And hovering over it all was Stephanie White, orchestrating a masterclass from the sidelines. Her team was gutted by injuries, yet she kept them together with resilience and precision. The officiating that had caused so much outrage earlier in the series didn't shake them this time. They stayed composed, locked in, and closed the door when it mattered most. Now, the reward is both thrilling and terrifying. A semifinal showdown with the Las Vegas Aces, the reigning 2-time champions loaded with talent led by A'ja Wilson, a player some already call one of the greatest forwards the league has ever seen.
Y'all are a tough bunch of I mean, I cannot even put into words how proud I am. It's like the toughness that it takes, like the gut checks that it takes. Like, y'all, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we've been through all of it, right? Yeah. So it doesn't matter the circumstance, it doesn't matter the score, it doesn't matter the time. You always put your best foot forward. You always get to the next play. And it's always someone different.
You actually just referenced it twice. It is Indiana. Dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?
That they haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us one of those stretches. So, you know what, we'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business.
Alongside her, Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray, and Jewel Lloyd form a lineup that doesn't flinch in crunch time. Indiana, patched together and bruised, faces the ultimate test. Can Boston handle Wilson? Can Mitchell keep scoring against the league's sharpest defense? Can Sims find those same passing windows against a team that punishes every mistake? What Indiana did against Atlanta was remarkable, but what happens next could define them for years. Because if this team, stripped of nearly half its rotation, can knock off the defending champions, then we aren't just talking about a Cinderella run, we're talking about the birth of a dynasty. And hanging over it all is Brittney Griner. Is this truly the end of her reign? Has the torch already been passed to Boston and a new generation of bigs ready to dominate the paint? Or was this simply one bad series? A stumble in the twilight of a legendary career? Whatever the truth, this night made one thing clear. The Indiana Fever are no longer waiting for the future. The future is already here. So what do you think? Is Brittney Griner's time as a dominant center over for good, or does she have one last fight left in her? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter of this story.